Hello, everyone. Hello, viewers out there. And welcome back. If you've been following us all along, welcome back. And to those viewers who are new, welcome to our final Blue Zone series. I cannot believe it's the final one. If you've been joining us, we've been doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, going through all the Blue Zones concepts. So we're so happy you're here with us tonight. My name is Diana, and I'm one of the wellness coaches with Baptist Health, and I am here with the wonderful Lisa. Lisa and I work together. Lisa, just a quick intro, if you can just tell them a little bit about what you do at Baptist.
Yes, hello everybody. You probably have seen me before. I am a registered nurse with Baptist. I'm with the For Her program, so I'm excited to be with them. I also work with some corporate health. And that's me. I've been a nurse for about 30 years. So worked downtown as a cardiac neuro nurse and worked in the operating room. And now I'm in my dream job, health coaching and in prevention.
Thank you, Lisa. So I have the pleasure of working with Lisa, and it's wonderful, and she's an expert at what she does, and we're so happy to have her here with us again tonight. Lisa, I know you've been kind of going through these series along with the viewers, and I have the pleasure of interviewing you tonight, which I'm so excited about. So just to let the viewers know that all these series, these are for a reason. This is leading up to our grand lecture that we are having on June 3rd. So if you have not heard, we'll be repeating it several times throughout the session tonight. On June 3rd, we will be having the Sosiski-Kleppinger lecture, and it's on food as medicine. It is a free event. You can sign up. They'll be putting the link in the comment section. So you don't want to miss out. June 3rd is the date. You do not want to miss out on this event. Again, Sosiski-Kleppinger. So if you want to know more about the Blue Zones, the CMO, Chief Medical Officer of the Blue Zones, will be our guest speaker. So please don't miss out. And again, like I said, tonight is our final event. And we're doing an overview. So everything that we've been doing throughout the entire series, now down to an overview. And we have our expert, Lisa Bradford, going through that overview, especially for those of you who have missed this. Really amazing information that both Lisa and I have talked about. We're super passionate about it. And giving you tips or maybe hearing from you about how you can create your own Blue Zone. So Lisa, I'll stop talking and now I'll ask you a question. So Lisa, tell us your thoughts on the Blue Zones.
Wow, Diana, you and I were talking about it today. The more I read, the more I just want, it's like a passion. I think it's so incredible that these cultures have lived such long and healthy lives and happy lives. They have nine principles called the Power Nine. And so I've just been enjoying this month, listening to the presentations for one, and then doing my own research. I did the presentation on purpose, and it was a lot. It's knowing your purpose, it's heavy. And we're also busy in our lives. So anyway, I'm excited to be a part of the series. I've been excited to be on the planning committee with the event coming up next week. And I'm excited also to share the information with my health coaching clients, and also tweaking my own life and looking at the Power Nine, and see how I can make improvements in my own life.
That's awesome. And I know I've had the opportunity as well to participate in some of these series. And I have watched some of our physicians come on and, their thoughts on Blue Zones and, talking about some of the Power Nine concepts. It's been amazing to watch Dr. James and Dr. Forey go more in depth and just giving their perspective on things. And so it's really been an amazing journey with this Blue Zone series. So For those who do not remember, or maybe are just joining us for this final series, what is the Blue Zones? Tell us a little bit more about that. What is the Blue Zones culture? What is the concept? Just what is the whole premise behind it?
Well, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to tell you what I have figured out is that Mr. Bootner and some demographers, they looked at census data, and they saw that there was 5 locations in the world that showed that there was older people, that people were living longer. And so they called these locations the Blue Zones. So there's 5 of them, and one is in Costa Rica, Nicoya, and one is in Japan, Okinawa, and there's one in California, Loma Linda. And let's see, there's one in Sardinia, and then let's see, Greece, Ikaria, Greece. So, and each one of them have a uniqueness to them. I enjoyed learning about the one in Greece because that is their diet is mostly the Mediterranean diet, and they have a lower incident of dementia, and even as the people get older, they're mentally sharp until the day they pass. So I think that's very interesting. In Sardinia, that is the highest concentration of male centurions that live there. So in Okinawa, I thought an interesting tip from there was they don't have a word for retirement. I think that's interesting. And in Loma Linda, in California, now these are the Seventh-day Adventists, the population that lives there. And this population, they live 10 years longer than the North American counterparts. So I think that they're all very unique in their own way. And but I think too that's so cool about them is that they share these 9 principles, which are called the Power 9. So.
Thank you, Lisa. And I think for me, I'm sorry about the feedback. I'm not sure why that's happening. So when I reviewed the 5 regions, I thought, how amazing is this? And once you go into the Power 9 and looking at some of the simple ways we can implement some of this in our own lives, like just starting with us and then kind of leading by example, and it kind of creates this domino effect. And so you talked a little bit about, your session you did was on purpose, and I can't wait until you review that one. Is one of the things that jumped out to me on how having a purpose increases longevity. So I look forward to you telling the viewers about that. So I don't see any comments right now, but Karen Coleman did send us a hand wave. She's the waving emoji. She's saying hi. So hey, Karen, thanks for tuning in tonight. So we have been talking about Power 9. We have repeated it several times into the almost 9 minutes that we've been speaking. So Lisa, time to look at Power 9. What is it? What's this Power 9 that everyone keeps talking about?
I know. I like to break them down into 4 keys and categories. So there's movement, right outlook, eat wisely, and connections. So let's look at movement. I liked when I was reading that, all right, here in the US, we're always worried about getting to the gyms. These cultures, they move naturally. It's low intensity, and they don't call it exercise. It's not intentional. It's a part of their daily life. They walk to school. They walk to the store. They walk to their best friends. There's no power tools. So everything is done by hand. They're gardening. They're moving constantly. So that's moving naturally, right? And so then we go to the right outlook. So right there's purpose, and purpose is one of the Power 9, and they have a clear sense of purpose. in all 5 of these cultures. And I'll go into more of it when we go into how we're going to create our own blue zones. But another thing is downshifting. So everybody has stress. It does not matter who you are. Even the blue zone people have stress, but it's how you deal with it. And they have rituals of how they handle it. And this also decreases the inflammation, which can lead to the bad stuff, right? Heart disease and everything else. So they have these rituals of prayer, meditation, napping, social time. They're very connected, socially connected. So this is all going to help them downshift and relax. And then we go on to the next group, which is eating wisely. So the 80% rule, they don't get full because they eat up to 80%. And the Okinawans, they call it hara hachibu. So you eat until you're 80% full. Okay. They eat off small plates. They converse. It's family time. Like their breakfast is the largest meal, and then their lunch is smaller, and then their dinner is even the smallest meal. So that is the 90%, 80% rule. And then it's plant-based. It's 95% of these cultures, they eat 95% plant-based foods. So it's vegetables, fruits, whole grains. They're gardening. So everything's natural. The animal protein isn't as prevalent. Okay. Beans, they eat a lot of beans too. And then along with eating wisely, they also have wine at 5. So 4 of the 5 cultures do drink alcohol. The Seventh-day Adventists, they do not. But in like Sardinia and Greece, it's the red wine. The grapes there have 2 to 3 times the antioxidants. So in Okinawa, they have sake, but it's all moderate. It's social. So they might have a drink at like red wine with dinner, but they're around family, friends. And then the last part is connection. So, the tribe and wine at 5. So they have their tribe. They have their close-knit friends that they probably have been friends with for years, even their family. A sense of belonging. So they are faith-based community. They believe in that. And the lastly is loved ones first. It's their loved ones are number one. They put a lot of energy into the relationships. So their spouses, their children, their grandparents. The grandparents live with the families. So, it's just a nice way, that's the Power 9, basically. Overview, quickie. We zoomed. We did a whole month.
I know. We did an entire month in like, I don't know, about 2 minutes.
I'm exhausted.
That's fantastic, Lisa. Thank you so much. And I'll probably just go back and pick your brain on a couple of them, especially for people who just joined us. But we have a question here from Miss Wilson. Can you recommend a book for the Blue Zone or a website? So yes, there is a website, bluezones.com. And I believe they'll be putting that in the link. But Miss Wilson, if you're still there, it's bluezones.com. And that will have everything that you need to know about Blue Zones. It has amazing information, resources, They have their own cookbook. You can take different tests. So I took a longevity test. So if you're interested in that, kind of gives you an idea if you're on the right track. You're welcome. So she is still there. So it kind of gives you an idea if you're on the right track, if you're implementing some of these things. Lisa, I will actually, if I keep going on the same path, I will actually live till I'm 97, which isn't so bad. So I'm okay with that. So it gives you really good perspective. My curiosity was piqued when I saw the cookbook. And so there are a lot of things that I personally want to start implementing within my family. A lot of things that, in this life that we live, everything is go, 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 and so just a quick tidbit, I noticed during COVID, when we were all kind of locked down, we were forced to do a lot of things that we don't normally do, forced to spend more family time, forced to sit around the dinner table and eat slowly, things that we weren't always used to. So now that the pace is picking back up, stress is going back up. And so this is a really nice reminder. You talked about downshift. You talked about downshift being one of the power nines. And I really like that you stressed, even people in these blue zones experience stress, but what makes it less of an impact on their health is how they handle their stress level, which is really important. So we had a series with Dr. Marilyn James, and she did a great job at talking about the different types of stress, which I will not do justice even trying to repeat her amazing session. But she talked about taking time and realizing when you need to step away, when you need that time for yourself. And so you mentioned prayer. For some people, it can be meditation, napping. That's one of my favorite things to do. I know in Spain, this is really popular. They have siesta time, right? Mm-hmm. So that's really popular for them. And just spending time with family and friends, whatever it is that takes you away from the hustle and bustle of daily life, do it more often. So, for me, sometimes that's cooking or just going for a walk, or baking things I'm not really supposed to eat. That's not in the plants land, Lisa.
I get it.
So I don't see any other questions coming in right now, but there is one that I wanted to bring up. So belonging, you talked about that, and belonging to a faith-based community. And so for viewers out there, it doesn't matter what denomination.
Exactly.
Just belonging to a faith-based community. So just important to note there. And so really good. So let's go through. Let's see how good we are, Lisa. Let's go through. I'm actually cheating because I have it here, but let's go through the Power 9 for the viewers so we can start from the top, not necessarily in any particular order for those out there. So we have downshift, we have purpose, we have 80% rule, plant slant. My favorite one at 5. Loved ones first. Belong.
Tribe. Yep.
Tribe.
Yep.
Belong. And what are we missing?
Loved ones first, or did you get that one?
Purpose.
Yes, purpose. Yep.
So those are the 9. And if you go on the Blue Zones website, you will find the breakdown of all the 9, Power 9, and you'll also find detail descriptions. And also in reference to the regions, the Blue Zone regions, they have a map on the site so you can kind of see, visually where those regions are located. you will also be able to read deeper into these regions and some other things that they practice there as well. So a lot of great research-based articles on the site. Let's see here. Lisa, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, other than, we have these principles, right? We're reading about them. It's how do we apply them into our own life? That, and that's, I thought about it last weekend because going, wow, I have all this amazing information. Now, what am I going to do with it? And so I think taking small steps, don't get overwhelmed, and maybe just take one on it at a time. And that's what I'm going to do. So yes.
And that is such a great piece of advice to give, taking small steps, one step at a time. And, in our line of work, Lisa, when we talk to our clients and goal setting, you want to make sure those goals are attainable. And so you want to, make sure they're not too lofty. So that's excellent advice. And, we want to, I don't see any questions right now, but if you are tuning in, and you have been follow along, or you heard, some of the things that Lisa has mentioned about Power 9 and what is so unique to these people in these 5 regions. Our question to you, how can you adapt Blue Zone concepts into your lifestyle? How can you, if you have already, how have you adapted those concepts to your lifestyle? We would really like to know. We're super curious to see some of the things that you plan on doing, because it is nice to know that if we do these things, that it can increase our longevity. And longevity, when Lisa talked about spending more time with our loved ones, that's important. So, Lisa, you mentioned some of the ways, you mentioned adapting these to your life. Tell us some of the ways you plan on doing that.
Well, let's just start off with moving naturally. It's difficult here in the States, right? Because you're working, right? Or maybe you have to commute into work. So you're losing time. What I think for myself and what I've been doing over the years is time management. If you want to put exercise or moving into your day, you're going to have to be strategic about it. If you have kids or whatever. So if getting up earlier before you go to work is what you need to do, or for some reason you have the time or at lunchtime even, you utilize whatever time you have. And I get a lot of clients who'll say, is it a waste of time to just do 10 minutes 4 times a day? And I go, absolutely not. It all adds up. And, even like evening walk with your kids or your family, because what are you doing then? You're combining, you're having loved ones together, right? And then you're moving together, or even a home project. That's moving naturally. Let's say if you're going to, I know Jean was mentioning that they built little troughs for gardens in their backyard, and they built them with like pine wood and everything. And she took a picture of them, and it's so, I would like to do something like that. So, but that's moving naturally. And that is something what the Blue Zone cultures, they do. It's not like they're intentionally exercising, but if you can have the time to intentionally exercise plus do movement. So, I don't know, purpose. That's something that I'm probably going to work on myself. I believe I do, but it's heavy and it's brainstorming, and it's like almost like an internal deep dive of finding out, what your gifts are, your talents, your passions, and finding out what you love to do, and then putting it into action, because you can write it all down, but the key is putting it into action too. So, and it can be as simple as, watching your kids grow up, your grandchildren grow up. If that's your passion, and that's wonderful, or your purpose, or what if it's your job? That's okay too. A hobby, a volunteer job that you love. Maybe you're working with hospice or something and you love it. So I mean, that's all purpose.
Right.
So. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're asking me, I have to work on my plant slant. And it's interesting, Jenna, I have watched some of the series, and she's talking about how it's like you almost have to reverse your thinking, because I always think about, okay, I'm going to have grilled chicken and then I'm going to have my sides. And it's like, no, Lisa, you need to reverse this. You're going to have your sides, and yes, you're going to have a splash or a condiment size of animal protein. So anyway, so that is something, if you ask me, that's what I need to work on.
I love that, and thank you for sharing with us what you personally want to work on. And of course, because I asked you the question, I also have to answer my own question, because then it wouldn't be fair, right? So so for one, I have been doing the wine at 5 for a very long time. Not exactly at 5, but on that point, a lot of people will ask the question. You mentioned in moderation. So a lot of people will ask, well, exactly what is moderation? And so for the viewers, specifically when it comes to Blue Zones, they recommend 1 to 2 servings of wine a day, specifically the red wine. I know they talk about the Sardinian wine, but also 1 to 2 servings. So 1 serving, it's specifically referring to females, is 4 ounces. So just don't get too excited. Moderation is key, but it is important. And we all know, Lisa, you talked about the Mediterranean diet in Greece, and it's important because Mediterranean diet helps with heart health. And so that is so important. And food is medicine. Food is medicine. And that is the foundation, the whole, the foundation of this lecture that we are having next Thursday. Food is medicine. And that is so important. And they'll be going into a lot of detail about food is medicine. But I realized that I did not answer my own question. So, for me, I definitely agree with you, Lisa. Moving naturally is something that I have to work on, not just for myself, but as for my family. It's something I've talked to my husband about, hey, we need to make a more of an effort as a family to go walking after dinner. I realized the other day how sedentary I am. I intentionally exercise, but when I'm not, I'm mostly sedentary, and I have seen the effects that has caused. So I will make a conscious effort to move more naturally, get up and walk around. And now with a lot of our workplaces, there are designated areas to be able to do these things. And so that is really nice. Another one that I said I really have to work on is plant slant as well. So those two are my top 2. The other ones, are kind of a part of my lifestyle already. Do I need to do more? Absolutely. We all can do more. So yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
I agree. I just, now that you're talking, I'm thinking of more downshift.
Oh gosh,
yeah. I think with everything that's gone on the past year, and just life is crazy. And I liked, I did watch Dr. Mona Shaw and Dr. James with just the ways it's like deep breathing, taking a minute, meditation. And that is something definitely too, I think that's important. And it affects your heart. So and it's you should take it seriously. I mean, that is something definitely. I mean, Blue Zone people, they get to nap a lot. So I don't think we'll be able to do a whole lot of that, but I definitely believe in downshifting. Yeah, I think it's important. And I think that we're so used to on the go. And I'm the worst one, that I just keep charging ahead, and I've got to learn to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's too, a lot of us feel guilty if we slow down because we should be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to like get rid of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I love that you said that, because it is so true. Oh my gosh, that is, yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Slowing down does not feel normal.
I know.
And that's not right. It's not right, you know?
True.
Yeah, it's so true. And thank you for mentioning that, Lisa. So I don't see any other questions coming through, but I did want to make mention of, there was a research article in Blue Zones, and they looked at some of the cities that have adapted these Blue Zone concepts, and they have found decreases in obesity, BMI, certain health conditions. They've also, like workplaces that have adapted Blue Zone concepts, they have an increased rate of productivity and boosts in employee morale. And so, you know, viewers out there, whatever your role is in your environment, in your community, just think about, you know, these concepts and think about ways that you can implement them. It's not just for us, you know, it's really for everyone. It's for community and for the betterment of all of us. So, so in closing, I just want to, Lisa, thank you so much for your expertise on this and for all your feedback. Thank you so much. And to the viewers, I hope that you all have enjoyed the entire series all month long. I hope that you have enjoyed the journey along with the entire team of amazing experts who have been presenting. And so, of course, before I close out, I want to make mention again of the Sosiski-Kleppinger lecture next Thursday, June 3rd at 6 p.m. It is virtual. And the topic is Food is Medicine, Achieving Lifelong Wellness. And we have Dr. Sherney, who is the Chief Medical Officer of Blue Zone. So a representative from Blue Zones who is, I mean, speaking, the experts themselves, speaking on Blue Zones, Food is Medicine, again, achieving lifelong wellness. I saw some other people coming in the chat, so just want to mention one more time, in case you didn't hear me the other 10 times I mentioned it, the Sosiski-Kleppinger lecture, Thursday, June 3rd at 6 p.m. It is virtual. You don't have to worry about going anywhere, in the comfort of your own home with your 4 ounces of red wine, because that is wine. This time it'll be wine at 6. You really don't want to miss out on this free lecture and, you know, very valuable information, research-based information. So Erlene Meir says, I slow myself in many areas. I relax by teaching piano online and taking violin lessons. I try not to push lots of things to get done in a day. That is amazing. Wow. So learning a new talent as well. That is great. And Miss Blakewood says, very informative, great inspiration and knowledge. Thank you so much, Miss Blakewood. We certainly appreciate that feedback. And Miss Erlene Meir says she will be there for the Food is Medicine lecture. So thank you. And, you know, there will be a Q&A session, so you all will be able to ask the expert questions as well. So look out for it. You know, I am looking forward to the lecture on Thursday. I know you are, Lisa. You're gonna be working and you're gonna be there. So yeah, it's gonna be great. And so really looking forward to that. But again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure to ride along the series. We hope that you have a great night, and we will see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. for the Sosiski-Kleppinger lecture. Good night, everyone.
Bye.